Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are in the world. Welcome to our August AMA session with Dill. I'm Martin, your host for today's exciting event. Dill, as we know, is the most scalable and the first ever sharding based data availability network. Whether you are a user of Dill or not, we're thrilled to have you here. Today, Ted, the co founder of Dill, will be addressing and discussing the questions that the community have submitted and some internal questions. We have received a lot of questions, and for the ones we don't have time to go through today, we will do it in the next X Spaces or address them in the Discord. So let's get ready to dive deep into some fascinating insights. While listening, head over to our Discord channel, and in the general chat channel in Dill's Discord community, you can use hashtag AugustAMA to ask your question. You'll have the chance to earn 500 XP and active points. Just a reminder to keep all questions respectful and relevant to the discussion, or you will risk getting kicked from the server, or your question will not be picked. So, without further ado, let's dive right into our AMA session with Ted. Please join me in welcoming him. Welcome back, Ted. Thanks again for doing another X Spaces on Dill.
Yeah, happy to be here.
So let's jump right in. First question I want to ask you, let's go over a roadmap and milestones. So can you provide more details on Dill's development roadmap for the next 6 to 12 months, especially regarding key milestones and new features with Dill Network?
Yeah, sure. I think let me just quickly do a recap on what I have achieved so far in terms of the development. I also want to give community an update on where we are at the moment, sort of the readiness for the next phase, including the incentivized testnet as well as the mainnet. So basically, we just to recap, we basically finished the private testnet early May this year, and then later we started the public testnet. And as many of you have probably already joined the ND's testnet, we have been running it for 2 months, a little bit more than 2 months. So far, I think we have achieved the desired, I guess, the scalability as well as the scale we want to achieve. Did a little bit on the quite a lot of the help from the community with the nodes that launched by the individuals, so that we have the test for the stress test. So we also have identified some of the issues that a little bit optimizations we have done. So in terms of the development for the next 6 to 12 months, I think first of all, obviously, is getting the so just to say that we have already finished the major development for all the like the major milestones that we planned it. So just to get us ready for the incentivized testnet as well as the mainnet, I think there's a few optimization we have to do, including like dedication as well as the withdraw tokens from the stakers, as well as some of the peripheral, what I call peripheral updates on the Explorer, where will allow people to see epoch by epoch rewards, so that people have the confidence knowing whether the node is running healthy or not. So on the I guess the testing side for the mainnet, I think we'll be using incentivized testnet as the major milestone for the I guess the stress test, so that we know different kinds of the validator can be running as well as participating correctly in different responsibilities, including DAS as well as the voting and the block producing part of it. So the sharding part, we have achieved so far. We have achieved 12 blobs. We are trying to doing some more optimization so that we can achieve double the size of the blobs that we are today. and keep the same level of the bandwidth requirement for the validator nodes. So that's more on I guess the optimization part of it. Another major milestone or we want to achieve for the future is the stateless client, which is very similar to we're basically utilizing the Merkle tree, the idea rooted from stemmed from the Ethereum community, where this will allow the clients to be fast in and fast out to be able to verify the blocks without having to spend a lot of time synchronizing with the network. So with this feature, we'll achieve better decentralization as well as lower the barrier for, I guess, the solo stakers to participate in the network. One of the things that people probably aware is that with the network running longer, the state will be, I guess, larger, so that it requires a lot of time or longer period of time for the new joiners to sync from the states. So with this stateless client, hopefully we'll have lowered the barrier and then allow people to be to participate in the network fast in and fast out. So that's on the I guess the development side. On the ecosystem side, we'll also obviously try to leverage the BTC with the Babylon. We're still working towards that to allow the BTC holders to participate the Dill network without having to basically they can just restake their BTC and then we can leverage the BTC side of the security. So I think that's basically summarized I guess for the next 6 month or two. For the next phase of the development in the roadmap, we're still thinking very hard as well as being very careful on what features to pick so that we can achieve better, I guess, the economical as well as the ecosystem side of the benefit for ourselves as well as the clients.
No, that's great. It's good to hear that private testnet was successful and now public testnet's underway. And it seems like there's a lot of activity and people getting involved. So that's great to hear. I would love to discuss now the role and incentivized rules regarding Dill Network. What are the specific roles and responsibilities of validators in the Dill Network? How are they incentivized? And what measures does Dill take to ensure that validators and participants adhere to the rules and maintain network integrity?
Yeah, sure. I think I guess this is more of a technical question rather than like incentivized rule question, but I can answer both just in case I didn't understand this. Technically speaking, there are two validators, as some of you may already notice that there are two types of the validator, specifically the full validator as well as the light validator. So I can explain the difference as well as the similarities between the two. So first of all, full validator as well as the live validator, they both requires token stake and then to be able to join the network. And then the major difference is that the full validator, or I say the live validator does not produce block, whereas the full validator does produce block. Um, but both full validator as well as the light validator are participating in the consensus mechanism where the light validator will also voting in each of the slot on the block produced by the full validator. On top of that, light validator also does the DAS as well. So the major difference or the design principle or the design philosophy behind it is that the light validator requires much less powerful hardware to run, so that this will allow a lot of the solo stakers who does not have access to very powerful machine to be able to join the network as well. Historically, some of the I guess you can commonly see that for solo or for community members who have the token, because they do not have the access to powerful machine. So the only option for them to utilize their token is to dedicate the token to the I guess professional node operators. So the problem with that is there's a centralization risk regarding to the node operator because there's only handful, especially when the requirement is very high. There's a technical barrier for people to actually running the node, let alone the maintenance required along the way. So with this live validator, I believe a lot of like all the pretty much I think so far the we have like 80% of the entities role community members have running the live validator in the network. So I think that's great. So on top of that, I think these are the two major validators, but we also have a what I call a peripheral network where there's a light client, which is not just to be very precise, it's not a validator. Light client, which will also does the DAS for the network. Will be releasing is actually under the development. We'll be releasing a SDK which will allow any developer, including I guess the rollups as well as the app chain, to be able to use that SDK to write a program to easily uh, perform the DAS data availability sampling on their whatever the client and then verify their data, specifically their transaction data from the rollup is actually available in the network. So that's that. So the last question, I think, regarding to how to ensure the validators are adhere to the rules and maintain a networking integrity. I think there's nothing special about the deal in terms of this. It's more of a like POS mechanism, and anyone who does not adhere the rule or does not or miss the voting part will be slashed or fail to produce the block will also be slashed. Even though we are trying to reduce the slash, I guess, penalty for the live validator so that it will impose less, I guess, penalty to the live validator because we believe this is going to help us to increase or embrace more community members because they are not professional node validators to be able to keep the node running 100% of the time.
Yeah, no, it's good to implement rules to eliminate bad actors in the set because they can cause some serious issues. And sorry about any confusion at the beginning of that question. I meant to say incentivize rules and rules. So my apologies for that. Um, Next, I'd love to talk about security and scalability. The next question I have for you: what are the core principles behind Dill's technology? And how does it ensure scalability and security as the user base grows? Additionally, how does Dill maintain the integrity and availability of data across its sharded network while ensuring optimal performance, especially during high transaction volumes?
Yeah, I think we have touched on this topic in the previous one, but I think with our community growing, I think almost double size compared to last month, I think it worth just to re explain this to the community. So first of all, the core design or the core technology that we use to achieve the unparalleled scalability as well as the performance, fast finality, all those good features are sharding as well as the KCG polynomial commitment. The last bit is a little bit jargon over there, but simply put, it's a feature where use cryptography some cryptography technologies to allow the network to achieve fast finality as well as a guarantee that's mathematically available. So let me take a step back. So sharding, the way we do sharding is so at the moment we are not performing the the targeted number of shards, which we planned it for the mainnet is um, 64 shards. And then, so within each shard, there will be a subgroup of the validator participating in the consensus network, as well as the light client in that part of the shard, or you can view it as a subnet. So the scalability on top of that, the sharding is also done at the data level, where imagine you have the data or the blobs being pumped by the rollups and other app chains. We'll first do 2D, two-dimensional erasure coding, and then once that is done, the KCG commitment will do the KCG commitment on the vote basis. So a nice feature about that is the proof is actually constant proof size, which basically means the proof size does not increase as the underlying data size increases. So this will allow us to scale when the transaction volumes increases, and then that will keep constant, which is a very nice feature. So to I guess to help us to help us to guarantee the network integrity, we also have the cross-shard rotation, which happens randomly, which basically means a periodically some nodes will be chosen to perform the verification across shards to other shards as well. This will prevent any potential collude from the malicious node within the network, as well as to increase I guess, the stability as well as the data resiliency within the network. So that's some of the, I guess, key features as well as the functionalities over there. So at the moment, we are trying to, as I previously mentioned, we're trying to increase the blob size from 512 to double the size. The good thing about it is with the blob size increased, then we can achieve even higher scalability. So there's one thing which we're still working very hard on the engineering side is trying to get this ready. And hopefully we can get it abroad in the next coming weeks. Once this is done, then a good thing about it is that we can, so a nice consequence is that once this is done, the bandwidth requirement, network bandwidth requirement to be more precise. So the network bandwidth requirements for the full validator, as well as especially for the full validator, we can reduce that, and then once that is done, the network will be ready, even more technically ready for the mainnet launch.
That's very interesting. Yeah, this the tech behind Dill is very complex, but it's very interesting. This is you guys are really creating some innovation in this space, and I really love learning more. So the next question I would love to ask is about community engagement. What are the long-term strategies for increasing user interaction and community participation in Dill, as well as including any special programs designed to encourage engagement from long-term users? And how does Dill plan to foster a vibrant community and provide ongoing support to users and developers ongoing in the future?
Yeah, so I think I'll probably divide this question into two parts. One is like um, the I guess the token holders, as well as the basically the early supporters. The second part is actually the other ecosystem and app chains that be using Deal. So obviously for the Deal token holders, we will be very grateful that, especially for the early supporters. So we'll be like if you participated like in the incentivized testnet, obviously we'll be having consider that during the mainnet launch. So and for the long-term strategy, I think is also to work together with the ecosystem partners, especially for those like the app chains and the rollups, and because they actually bring in the real world use cases regarding like regardless whether it's DeFi focused app chain or it's a GameFi or social games or some generic rollups. So I think one of the strategies we've been thinking is obviously we'll still be working with the partners is that we can probably have something sort of jointly incentivized by with the other ecosystem together, so that um, the the deal as well as the other app chain or the rollups using deal will have dual benefit from the user community as well as the incentive, if that makes sense. So for the developers, I think at the moment we are working very hard to get our code open sourced so that we can get some support as well as the contribution from the developer who are interested to contribute to Dio's technology. So please stay tuned on that. I think we have been seeing a lot of, I guess, suggestions as well as in the early days of the Andes network, we have seen some of the very skillful members who have also made some enhancement of the script to be able to, for instance, I've seen one person who basically write a script to simplify the whole deployment process, which is awesome. I think we'd love to see more of those contributions from the network to not just on the suggestion side, but also take the action to help us to grow and improve on daily basis. So this is, I think, from the developer side. I think going forward, once we have the we were also considering some of the ecosystem program where I think we'll have the resources as well as the incentive for the developers and other community members to contribute to the deal from different aspects. So please stay tuned for that.
It's amazing. It's great to hear, so many users and developers are getting involved in helping build out the protocol. So that's really cool to hear. Um, the next topic I wanted to discuss would be about integration with other ecosystems and other partnership pipelines. What are Dill's current plans for integrating with major ecosystems, including upcoming partnerships, and how does the platform ensure interoperability with other blockchains? Are there specific protocols or strategies in place to facilitate this integration with Dill? I know you recently had an announcement with Manta, so I would love to hear more about that.
Yeah, so I think just to sort of recap, so since last day in May, we have some major announcement on the partnership. One of the noticeable one is Manta. So Manta is I think one of the biggest modular rollup L2. I think if you go to the L2 bits, it's probably top five or even top three. I couldn't remember today, but it's pretty high over there. So so we announced the Manta together with the Manta. Manta just announced their multi DA strategy, and the deal being one of the partners over there. So I guess the rationale behind which I personally wrote a blog as well as a Twitter about why they're doing it is basically allow the resiliency as well as the liveness of the L2s. So if you think about it, like Manta, any L2 or actually any L2 will be using alternative DA. One of the major consideration is the liveness, where if the data availability network is goes down, then basically the whole blockchain or the rollup uh, will be there will be a liveness issue over there. So with the Manta's multi-tier strategy, I think it's going to set a new paradigm or the design paradigm for other L2s to follow, where redundant data availability or standby data availability network will be there, so that if anything goes wrong with the primary, then they can quickly switch over to the another one to maintain the same level of the liveness for its blockchain users. So sorry, that's a bit lengthy explanation, but we have the Manta already announced, and also we have the Gravity Chain. Gravity Chain is it is basically the L1 that's being launched by Galaxy. So you guys probably already noticed that for the second quest, which is the incentivized testnet quest, we hosted in the in the Galaxy. Now it requires some on-chain activity to be for you guys to be able to claim the points. So basically, they have moved all the points to to their gravity chain, and that's I think they have maybe 1 million or one at least 1 million daily active user. And if you consider that, it's actually generating a lot of transactions on a daily basis. So we have also announced the partnership with the gravity chain. There are a few other which I cannot disclose at the moment, but I promise it's actually under we're discussing some of the details, and hopefully we can get it announced in the next week or so, in the coming weeks. So the nature of those are either we have the data availability, so they need a data availability module in one way or another in their system, either by the chain or a general ecosystem. Or we are actually working with some of the other components in the whole modular or blockchain stack. So for instance, some of them may be like shared sequencer or like rolled up as a service platform, where DA is going to be one of the obviously important component, along with some of the rollup framework, as well as I guess the settlement as well. So yeah, just stay tuned. Like our ecosystem partnership team, as well as myself, are working together with a lot of the amazing founders as well as projects. So a lot of the announcements is being cooked at the moment. Um,
No, that's exciting to hear. That's a little bit of alpha leak for the community there, something to look forward to. I'm excited to know the next announcement of the next partnership. So the community will be looking forward to that. The next topic, while we're on testnet, actually, I would love to ask another question about it. Does the team choose validators based on the experience and proven reliability of the operator, or is it simply a person who diligently interacts on social networks?
Yeah, so I guess this question is regarding the rule of how we choose the incentivized testnet participants. I think this is a good opportunity for me to sort of clarify some of the questions people have. Um, I, so just yeah, just for everyone, I'd be monitoring, or I'd be actually watching all the like reading all the pretty much all the spend hours reading all the messages in the Discord channel, just to make sure that I understand and know what's going on with the community, and also you know um, get some feedbacks from the channel. So yes, I do read the Discord channel all the time. So your voice, I've been hearing a lot of them, and I do understand there's some I guess there's some clarity needs to be um, discussed here. So first of all, I think the purpose of I hope you guys already read the rules that we published over there, and then I guess we're trying to the purpose. I guess we're trying to use. the purpose of the getting engaged in the social network is like social, either it's on Discord, which is our main one, as well as some other platforms. That's not the purpose of, like, our goal is not to get everyone just, chatting 10 hours a day and try to get get a role. That's not our goal. Obviously, that's not the purpose of running a network. So I just want to clear out that first. But if you think about it, like at the moment, there's nothing else we can sort of rely on. So that's, I think we want to use that as a means to select the people who are genuinely interested in Deal and to be a long-term supporter. So I think that's one of the means that we choose. It may not be the best one, but I think um, that's a means for us to a method for us to choose the supporter who want to participate and support Deal in in early stages. So um, the so that's for the, I guess that's for the community side of it. And obviously, I've been also talking to some of the professional node operators and who have experience running the network. So I think we need to find a balance between the community as well as the I guess the professional node operators. Unlike some of the other network where the node operator is actually permissioned, we actually, at least um, in the mainnet, we're going to the network is going to be permissionless, meaning that anyone can spin up a new node and join in the network without any issue. So I think it's going to. So for us, we're also working with some of the well-known famous node validators to work with them, and then um, so that they will be our launching partner. The purpose of that is not to, you know, make the deal less centralized per se, but rather I think it's going to provide a backbone network for any community member to join freely. So I think our team is aware of that, and we are working just to find a balance so that the infrastructure will have a very stable one for anyone else to join. Um, so regarding the selection process, I think it's already published in that doc. I encourage everyone to read it. Just give you a heads up that we have so far received a lot of interest, even for the phase one of the incentivized testnet, and we will be announcing some clarification within this week regarding some of the um, details which were not very clearly documented early on. So please stay tuned for that. But I think the main purpose of the whole selection is that there are a few things I think we want to achieve is one, we want to have the network to be as decentralized as possible so that hopefully everyone got a chance who are interested, will get a chance to participate in the network. And two is that for anyone, especially for the Andes node active users, as we explained in the doc, we'll be giving them the spot to run as a first batch of the node, just to because they have already participated in the network, so that I think it's fair for them to join as the first batch. So yeah, that's the one. And then obviously our incentivized testnet will have multiple phases. So we'll have 8 phases as documented in the I guess the rule, and also depends on how it goes. The time may vary, but I think at the moment the plan is to run it at least 2 to 3 months, which will give us some very confident time for the network to be ready for the next phase.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you guys have set out your roadmap appropriate in terms of accomplishing the goals you've set out, and you're getting there one step at a time through these test nets, and it sounds like there's a lot of moving components, but it's all starting to come together, and it seems the community is really jumping in to help out with that. So that's great. Thank you for all the amazing answers to those questions, Ted. At this point of the AMA, I would love to move to the live question and answer or Q&A section. Why don't we take a moment to look through some of the questions coming in live from our audience? And just a reminder that to celebrate, Dill is giving 3 active participants a chance to win gifts, and all the details can be found in the Discord community. And without further ado, let's jump into some questions from the community. So the first question we have here is from Cunningham Helen. Can you share more about the specific projects you intend to support in the upcoming quarter and how they align with Dill's vision?
Yeah, I think I think there are multiple ways to interpret this question, but I guess my understanding this is more on the I guess the partnership of it. But correct me if I'm not if that's not the case. So I think again, deal. I think let me. So deal is actually a data availability network. So we want to support any rollups and blockchains who wants to achieve scalability, low cost, as well as the fast finality, which is not previously available with the other technical solutions per se. So, for instance, Ethereum, obviously after the Bitcoin upgrade, it has achieved much lower cost compared to previous. But then, still, in a case where um, even though like I have read a research article where even though it has been reduced like 80% of the cost, but still it's way too expensive for some of the very high um, volume transaction use cases. So I think in the coming quarters, there are a few things we will be focusing on. So first of all, I think it's going to be obviously the chain integration or rollup integration. We want to allow even before the mainnet launch, we want to lock down some of the potential partners who will be using our chain once we are up and live in the mainnet. That's the first thing. And second thing is we'll be working with, as I mentioned, some of the other components in the blockchain whole stack, especially on the modular one, where I think it's going to have some synergies between like sequencer as well as the rollup as a service platform where deal will become their will have a better integration or deep integration with them so that the deal will become a preferred I guess provider for any chain to use at the time. Some of the other functionalities we've been thinking is also because DA, if you think about it, is actually one of the major or fundamental components for the I guess data. And one thing that people I think struggle today is for the cross-chain interoperability as well as the some of the liquidity side of it. So those are also some of the angles we've been thinking how we can help the the chains as well as the users to unlock this functionality.
Awesome. The next question we have from the community, it would be from Hubbard Bonnie. And the question is, what advice would you give to community members interested in joining the Dill team, especially regarding the skills and expertise you're currently seeking? So I believe essentially they're asking about career opportunities at Dill and what would be the best way to go about trying to get a job at Dill. Uh, is there an ambassador program or anything for people to get their knowledge up, other like aside from the incentivized public test net right now, or what plans does the team have for that?
Yeah, so I think so for the I guess full time or more courting job opportunities, you can always check out the I think in the our official website there is a career or job link where you can there's a Notion page where we listed all the um, open job opportunities over there. Um, that's the first part. And for the I guess on the community side, at the moment, I think you're probably aware that we have multiple awesome moderators help us to keep the Discord community respectful, as well as prevent any spammers um, getting to the channel. So I think that's basically the major tools. In terms of the ambassador, I think at the moment we're still working on some of the details, and hopefully we can have something, be um, be able to share with the community. But at the moment, I think if you like the to to know the most up to date job opportunities, the best way is still go to the I guess the official website. There's all the jobs we are hiring at the moment.
Awesome. The third and last question we have from the community is how does Dill ensure that it remains compatible with future updates to Ethereum's infrastructure?
Yeah, I think that's a good question, but I think I want to also take this opportunity to just clarify some of the relationship between us and Ethereum. So obviously, deals sharding as well as full dunk sharding, this design is stemmed like inspired by Ethereum research and the community. But Dill is actually I would say Dill is actually a independent L1 chain, so it doesn't actually depend on Ethereum in any capability per se. Obviously, Ethereum is still to be the one of the settlement layer for any rollups, as well as especially for the rollups. So that and because of that, there still needs to be some basically deal needs to um, post the data proof route to Ethereum so that anyone can actually, especially for the L2s, to be able to check that in the Ethereum. So apart from that, I think obviously we so technically speaking, Deal's node is actually um, we will be using a lot of the code base from the Ethereum Geth and the Prism client, which gives us some sort of the leverage in the future, just in case that we still need there's some major I guess some of the piece we can leverage from Ethereum. But so far, because most of the technology and the features is actually we are the first, as far as I know, implementing those ones. So there's some divergence already. So I think to answer your question, it doesn't the Ethereum infrastructure we don't because like Deal is actually a permissionless network, and then the way we design our network is going to be compatible with any chain, not just the Ethereum alone. So um, it shouldn't be a problem for like the major upgrades from Ethereum because Ethereum is more from our perspective, like from the DA perspective, it's more of a settlement layer for the rollups, which is our client. So as long as there's the way for us to post the data onto Ethereum as the proof of the data, um, then you should be fine. And in that case, the core data as well as the blob would not be disappearing in the anytime soon, in my opinion. So it shouldn't be a problem for the upgrade. If that, yeah.
Yeah, no, that clarified enough for me to distinguish, how it remains compatible with future updates. So that was a perfect answer, Ted. Thank you. I think that wraps it up. That was the last question we had for today. So I just want to say thank you, Ted, for your time. I know things have been very busy with Dill, but I've been very excited to host the second AMA. And, the team's accomplishing a lot. The community is slowly growing, and we can see, the heartbeat getting stronger and stronger. So I would love to continue supporting Dill along your path to success. And I hope everybody learned as much as I did and had as much fun as I did today talking with you, and listening to all of the insights you shared with us and a little bit of alpha as well. So yeah, I had a great time. Thanks again, Ted, and thank you to everyone who joined today. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Please stay tuned, and we'll be making more announcements as well as updates in the Discord channel. And the last thing, let me just say that the incentivized testnet is going to last very long. So I hope everyone got a chance to run it, and we're trying to make the experience as fair, as fun, as exciting as possible. So let me put that way. Yeah, thank you.
That's great. We're looking forward to supporting you in the future. And until next time, take care, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.